Being in the transformational mindset arena, I always hear people say, oh, the work it takes to shift all these beliefs. It's all this uncomfortable tension that I dread looking at and uncovering and digging through. Yuck! See, when you feel this way about change work or transforming your mindset, it seems daunting or overwhelming to get through all those years of childhood upsets, right? And who wants to do that? Or maybe you're one of those who's actually tried to do transformational courses, podcasts, meditation practices, books, etc., and you are still wanting the deeper change that you crave. Yet you bump up against, this is another course, another thing to do. It's like a second job, and it feels like it's going to take your entire morning when you just want to start your day. Or maybe the change work requires you to do hours in the evening and you're just too tired to think at that point. I know exactly how this feels. You want the change, yet you don't want to put in the months, weeks, days, and hours to get it done. The amount of change work it will take seems like it'll be a second job when you're already stretched so thin in your life. Let me ask you this. Do you know what percentage of change is needed to affect critical mass? Guess. 75%, 50%, 25%? Nope, 1%. Yep, that's it. Just 1% is all that is needed. And there's a lot of proof for this. For example, let's just talk about elements first, then we'll talk about people. With helium, if you just raise the temperature 1 degree, the whole molecular structure changes. It changes into something completely different. The same is true for water. At 32 degrees, it freezes. At 1 degree higher, at 33 degrees, it's liquid. It's also true with water when it's at 99 degrees, and then you raise it 1 more degree, it becomes steam. As you can imagine, there are many more examples like this. But let's look at human beings. I heard a story about a study that was done in the Midwest, either around Chicago or Detroit, where they brought in 2,000 people to meditate in the city. Now, 2,000 people was 1% of that city's population. What they found was that the following weekend, the crime, emergency room visits, violent acts, etc., went down by 28%, if not more. It's amazing. So I looked up other studies on this, and on the U.S. Department of Justice website, they had 48 experimental cities where the towns had 1% of the people come in and meditate. Their results were astounding. A decrease in crime rate was found in experimental cities. The decrease was evident both immediately after the cities reached the 1% level of the meditation program participation, and the crime rate had a downward trend during the subsequent 5 years. That's incredible. It's amazing. There was another study done in Washington, D.C., and skeptics laughed. They said that violent crime would only lower if there was a snowstorm. Yet the group of meditators predicted it would reduce by at least 20%. After they did their meditations, crime went down by 23.3% at its highest. So it only takes 1% to affect change. This is also true for you and in your body and your system of belief that is harboring old stuck patterns and generational bonds that impede you from having the abundance and wealth that you desire. So you don't have to sort and sift through every last childhood trauma, memory, or upset to have change, to have the change that you actually want in your life. It's way easier than that. It's 99% easier because you only need to shift 1% to create the change in your life. So at 6 years old, most of the big decisions about how the world works, who we are, and what we deserve are all in place. It's done. The foundation is mostly laid by 6 years old, and our brains are not designed to spontaneously update. The human brain is not designed to update itself, unlike your phone. It is designed to stabilize. Your consciousness is designed to expand, but your brain is designed to stabilize. This is why your brain doesn't spontaneously update when you become an adult with all new beliefs and identity patterns for who you are now, for someone who can make sense of their world and know more of their worth. It would be really great if it did, because it would override, revise, and reprogram all those stuck beliefs that cause so much havoc in our lives, since they were beliefs made by a 6-year-old self, if not much, much younger. These are beliefs that we created about ourselves when we could not make sense about the world around us or our family environment. Since we couldn't make sense of it, since we didn't have the analytical ability, we decided there must be something wrong with us. This is very typical of a very, very young child. This is the issue with our brain being focused on stabilizing, because it then stabilizes those limiting beliefs that there's something wrong with us. And it becomes grooved in, it becomes a pattern that runs from that age for the rest of our lives until we revise it. Ugh, right? The good news is your consciousness is designed to expand and further expand. So once you get that 1%, it has amazing lifelong benefit. We only need 1% to shift, and our consciousness is constantly expanding, and it's happy to support those shifts if we put our attention on it with the proper tools, because everything is revisable. And the extra bonus is the work you do to transform your own stuck patterns and limiting beliefs is also part of the 1% that's needed to change the mass consciousness of our planet away from fear, creating a better experience for everyone and life. But it starts with you, because we can only ever affect our own experience of ourselves, and that in turn can affect the world in the most beautiful way. You only need to shift 1% to cause transformation. I've talked a lot about shifting the 3 biggest blocks to abundance in my other video. You don't have to shift every layer of the onion. You only need 1% to cause significant change. Water, hydrogen, examples, as well as the city in the Midwest and many others, prove this. It doesn't need to be overwhelming. You only need 1% to shift, so you don't have to do every layer, every last nook and cranny. Because the more your system gets that what you are shifting towards is survivable, the more your system will allow those shifts now and in the future. It's really just about having intentionality, working with how your brain is naturally designed with some incredible tools for working with that neurology and the quantum field. And once you shift that 1%, can you imagine what's possible in your life, your business, and your legacy? All the freedom, the ease, the joy, and fun to be had. If you want to find out more about how to shift that 1% and create real transformation and change, select a time below for us to connect and chat more.